I am not watching Snow Dogs again. That movie is the worst!
What up, Sonic fans? It's Patrice, and I'm back with some more Easter eggs and references we found, and some that you guys found in the comments of previous videos after Sonic 2 dropped on streaming services. Hopefully this will hold y'all over until we get more info on Sonic Frontiers, because, man, Sega is really giving us breadcrumbs. Anyway, let's get right into it. So I know these videos usually center around the details found in the movies, and don't worry, there's plenty of those to cover, but I wanted to start this list out covering a couple very interesting details about the production of the Sonic movies. The first one, which I think you'll all appreciate, or not, being the actors who almost voiced Sonic. Before Ben Schwartz was cast for the films, there were a number of other candidates revealed in a leaked potential cast list. Those names included Tom Holland, Josh Gad, Andy Samberg, Bill Hader, Will Forte, Jim Parsons, Charlie Day, Paul Rudd, Adam Devine, and most surprisingly, Chris Pratt. Can you imagine that man playing Sonic, Mario, and Garfield? What's more is that Pratt was even considered to play as Tom. Look, I do not understand what's so appealing about that man. I mean, besides that he's your average Hollywood dude, bro, who fits nicely into every generic action film. Let's just hope he really has that Mario voice down. Alright, enough about Chris Pratt. Let's talk about the Olive Garden. I'm sorry about that weird segue, but you guys all know the gag. The GUN agent is a big fan of the restaurant, and every time it's mentioned in the movies, it just seems like shameless product placement that actually ends up being pretty funny. Interestingly enough, it was revealed in an interview with one of the writers of the Sonic films, Patrick Casey, that they weren't paid to reference the Olive Garden, and that it was all a big inside joke. In the interview, he explains that the original joke was just that Tom and Maddie were given a crappy gift card, and that was it. But the joke continued to evolve on set without Casey's knowledge, and nods to the Italian restaurant were sprinkled throughout both films, and in the future, most likely the third one. Now let's get down to the actual details from the films. Most of these are going to be from Sonic the Hedgehog 2 since it's more recent, but there are a couple details in here from the first movie as well. Starting out with the now iconic, in my humble opinion, supersonic transformation. In the film, Sonic transforms into Supersonic after being seemingly crushed by the Death Egg robot, which of course he wasn't because he's Sonic, which is strikingly similar to the time that Sonic transformed into Supersonic after also being seemingly crushed by the Death Egg robot in the Archie comic. This is either an extreme deep cut reference or an incredible coincidence. I'm gonna go with deep cut reference for this one. The way Supersonic stops the Death Egg robot with one hand during the final battle references a similar scene in the 2003 anime Sonic X. In season 1 episode 26 titled Countdown to Chaos, Sonic transforms into Supersonic, and when he's attacked by Eggman's giant exterminator robot, this man definitely has an ego problem, he also stops the robot's punch with one hand and proceeds to easily overpower the Doctor. Side note, I really hope that one day we get another Sonic anime like X, but I'm just as excited for Prime because we got Big the Cat. Come on now, that's great.
Sorry, Froggy, can't chat, gotta go help our friends.
No problem, Sonic.
One key element of the Sonic lore that seems to be missing in these films is Robotnik using animals to power his robots, which makes sense from a production standpoint why they wouldn't include that. It's pretty brutal for a kids movie. Also, instead of the films taking place in Sonic's home planet Mobius, like the comics and some other Sonic media, everything is on Earth, so there are no anthropomorphic animals to conquer. But Robotnik does make reference to this aspect of his character when he reveals in the final act that his main goal is to use humans to power his robots instead.
I'm going to enslave humanity and force them to service my machines.
There are even more references to Sonic heroes than the ones we mentioned previously. When Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles come together after defeating Robotnik to do a celebratory power bump, and it's so cute how Knuckles doesn't know what that is. The order in which we see the characters from the bird's eye view angle is exactly the same as the Sonic Heroes emblem. In my mind, this is the perfect way to subtly symbolize Sonic's character transformation from reckless vigilante to responsible hero. You know, because Sonic Heroes. Also, the way Knuckles throws Sonic during the final battle like a ball is a reference to the way Knuckles throws the characters in Sonic Heroes as an attack.
Can you break this rock, Knuckles?
There's no question that this film was inspired greatly by Sonic Adventure 2, and if you need proof of that, look no further than our past videos analyzing Easter eggs and details from Sonic 2. One that we missed though was a small reference to Sonic's bounce move that he acquires about halfway through the Team Hero story. During the fantastically animated fight scene between Sonic and Knuckles in the Labyrinth Zone inspired temple, Sonic repeatedly bashes Knuckles into the ground by bouncing on him. In Sonic Adventure 2, this move is unlocked after obtaining the bounce bracelet in the Pyramid Cave stage. During the scene in which Agent Stone is sifting through different Robotnik outfits, a lot of fans pointed out that the original original Eggman suit is seen as he scrolls through. While all the attention was on that suit, many may have missed the reference to the DreamWorks character Megamind. One of the suits that gets passed through is called the Red Mamba and is almost identical to the Black Mamba look from the film. The confrontation in the Master Emerald's chamber between Sonic, Eggman, and Knuckles contains a small nod to Perfect Chaos, the final boss of Sonic Adventure 1 and a major antagonist of Sonic X Season 2. One of the walls of the chamber seems to have a design that looks eerily similar to the creature's head when in that form. Since Chaos is the first known guardian of the Chaos Emeralds, it makes sense that his final form would be inscribed onto the walls, maybe as a way to deter intruders or just as a homage to the Emerald's original protector. The animated short Sonic Drone Home follows Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails as they battle one of Robotnik's AI robots that seems to have evolved to gain sentience and wants to destroy everything. I promise it's a lot more lighthearted than its synopsis.
Upgrade, need to upgrade. Unit must upgrade and conquer the world.
During the battle between Team Sonic and the Junkyard Robot, we can see a statue of the Burger Princess, a scrap character from Sonic 1 that was a spin on Burger King. The original idea for this character was that Sonic was going to run up to the statue and talk to it from time to time, most likely to show that he was lonely and that all he could really open up to was a drive-through robot. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, I highly implore you to check out that Sonic Drone Home short. Even though the original cast doesn't voice the characters besides Sonic, it has some dope animation and it's a very fun watch if you're looking for more from the Sonic cinematic universe. Back to Sonic 2, there's another Easter egg that gives a quick nod to some of the fan art made after the success of the first Sonic movie, particularly wholesome art that depicted the relationship between Sonic and Tom. In Sonic's drawer, we can see a drawing of himself, Tom, and Maddie that is a recreation of a piece of fan art drawn by the artist Solar Socks. Although I can't show this exact piece in this video because, you know, copyright stuff, I did want to give a shout out to Solar Socks and recommend looking into their work if you're interested in seeing the original. One of the coolest Easter eggs and probably the most obscure happened during the wedding fight scene between Maddie's sister and her GUN agent fiance. While the scene did drag a bit, and if it was taken out of the movie, it wouldn't be any different, let's be real, they did play the song Barracuda by heart. And Barracuda, spelled out without the second R, is the code for the level select screen for the 1996 game Sonic 3D Blast. Again, either a weird coincidence or an awesome deep cut reference, and considering that a lot of the crew were big Sonic fans, I'm gonna have to go with deep cut again. This one was pointed out by you guys in the comments. When Sonic is getting lectured by Tom for being a vigilante hero by using his powers irresponsibly, the two exchange dialogue that may sound familiar if you're a fan of the Rush Hour films. Tom tells Sonic that he destroyed a city block and Sonic responds,
That block was already messed up. Who cares?
a reference to the scene in Rush Hour in which this exact back and forth occurs between Detective Carter and his captain.
You destroyed half a city block.
That block was already messed up.
During Sonic's Home Alone scene where he has the cool independent Hedgehog party montage, the skateboard that he rides through the house is modeled after an old piece of concept art that looks like it originated in the Sonic Adventure era. The movie Skateboard shares both the color scheme and red wheels from the concept art. At this point, I'm not even surprised that they referenced this with all the other deep cuts that they did in these movies. Now I wanted to give you guys who might have seen the past 25 things you missed and video game references video an update after reviewing some of your comments and realizing some of the things I mentioned might have been incomplete or inaccurate. Starting off with the Sonic snowboarding scene, which I originally thought was just a reference to the ice cap zone from Sonic Adventure, but the fact that Sonic is snowboarding on a piece of scrap metal also references Sonic Adventure 2's opening stage City Escape, in which he does the exact same thing. In the Sonic Movie 2 comic, I noted that both Vector and Espio were in the background, but somehow missed Charmy's cute little antennas back there, completing the detective agency trio. I also thought that this was Super Robotnik's only appearance outside of the Fleetway Sonic comics, but the final episode of the 1993 Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon also featured Robotnik absorbing the Chaos Emerald's energy and transforming into Supreme High Robotnik, who turned out to be a total Giga Chad. The Miles Electric had the release date of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the screen, but also I missed that the MD definitely stood for Mega Drive. The SA2 inscribed on the helicopters could have stood for Sonic Adventure 2, but more likely stood for Sigma Alpha 2, which was the military unit responsible for Sonic's capture in Adventure 2. And the Sega Genesis styled manual that Stone holds up has Sega replaced with Egg and Genesis replaced with Robotnik. Alright, there's all my L's from the last video. Everything else is perfect, and if I made a mistake, then you're wrong. Another reference that you guys pointed out in the comics was a small nod to the crab Badnik made when Sonic gets washed up on the beach and the crab walks up to him and wakes him up. It was also pointed out by you guys that the crab could also be referencing episode 16 of Sonic X, where Sonic is attempting to get a Chaos Emerald, but a crab keeps ruining all his attempts. A couple more cool Tails references were made in the final battle. When Tails throws Sonic at the incoming Badniks, and the two pull off a sick looking spin move to destroy them, the move is exactly the same as the spin move the two perform in Sonic 4 Episode 2. Also, Tails' ability to pull off the Shadow Clone Jutsu is clearly a reference to the inspiration behind Tails' creation, a kitsune. These are creatures from Japanese folklore that could grow multiple tails and also had the ability to create illusions of themselves. When Robotnik uses the Master Emerald's power to lure the metal throughout the town and create a menacing Death Egg robot, it's reminiscent of the Metal Sonic transformation scene into Metal Madness in Sonic Heroes, who also attracts metal objects to become a giant robot dragon. Both are also the final bosses in their respective media. One more reference from that final battle, because this section is full of them, is that Sonic and Tails flying on the tornado together while battling the Death Egg robot references the Sky Chase Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Of course, there are multiple Sonic games where Sonic and Tails fight together in the sky on the tornado, like Sonic 4 Episode 2 and Sonic Adventure, just to name a couple, but because Sky Chase first appeared in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and this movie is largely inspired by that game, I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's based on that iteration. Moving back to the first Sonic movie, in the ending scene, we see Robotnik traversing the Mushroom Planet, which we now know was foreshadowing the inclusion of Knuckles. While the man seems to be losing his mind in isolation, he says,
"I'll be home by Christmas."
And when I was in that theater, I really held him to that. I was waiting for the holiday season to come to hear about the next installment of the Sonic movie franchise. We wanted more back then. Luckily, Robotnik turns out to be a man of his word, because the trailer for Sonic 2 dropped on December 9th, right in time for holiday season. And in the trailer, Agent Stone also drops the line, "He's back!" Man, marketing really knew what they were doing with these movies, unlike another Sonic project I know. When Robotnik is introducing Knuckles to Agent Stone, he asks if the red echidna is some kind of space porcupine, in which Knuckles responds with his entire backstory and unintentionally breaking his wrist. Stone's poor choice of words may just seem like a gag, but it's also a reference to the track Unknown from ME in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. You know, the Unlike Sonic I Don't Chuckle track. In the Sonic Adventure version of the song, the lyrics call Knuckles a porcupine in the line, "The new porcupine on the block with a buff chest." I guess sometime during development it wasn't made clear to the songwriters that Knuckles was an echidna. It's a pretty well known mistake in the Sonic community, so it's no surprise that they found a way to reference it during the Knuckles introduction. Between Sonic 1 and 2, there were some pretty big model changes made for both Sonic and Tails. For Sonic, his model is much taller than the original, which was done to make the height difference between Sonic and Tails more pronounced, but it also makes Sonic look like he was aging a bit and had a growth spurt between the first and second films. With Tails, we only saw a glimpse of him in that first movie with the post-credit scene, but in the second film, his model has a longer face, less saturated fur, and more expressive facial features. Both are welcome changes, and even though the models are great now, I hope they continue to improve them as the film series continues. Not only did Sonic go through a physical growth between the two films, but he also had a considerable character growth. From being portrayed as a lonely kid with no parental figures in the first film to finding a family and becoming more independent in the second, it's clear that the direction that they're taking Sonic is somewhat of a coming of age story. The scene that encapsulates Sonic's growth the most was the heart-to-heart he had with Tails after their dance battle.
I'm really glad you're here, Tails.
I'm glad I'm here too, Sonic.
The scene mirrors the heart-to-heart Tom had with Sonic in the first film and highlights what Sonic has learned since spending time with his father figure. Remember when I said there was one more reference in that final battle sequence earlier? Well, I lied. There's actually another one that we spotted. When Robotnik sends out a bunch of his Badniks to attack Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, they're no longer silver but a golden color. This is most likely to show that they're now powered by Chaos Energy, but in some of the Sonic games, like Sonic Heroes, when you get to the later stages, you encounter gold variations of Badniks, which are much stronger than the ones from previous levels. And here's a bonus highlight for you guys. If you're active on Sonic Twitter, you've definitely seen these, but if you somehow haven't come across these yet, Jeff Fowler released a bunch of concept art for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and most of the designs ended up making it into the final film. We've got one of Robotnik sending out his Badniks, another of Sonic and Tails trying to run from Knuckles, Robotnik, and his Badniks in the mountains, a very cool supersonic concept design, Sonic and Tails finding the compass to the Emerald's temple appearing out of the ocean, Sonic vs. Knuckles, and one that didn't make it into the final film, what looks to be an alternate ending with Sonic and Tails hugging. Man, I cannot wait for Sonic 3. I know we got until 2024 or something like that, but Sonic has been on a roll this year, and if Frontiers actually turns out to be good like the reviewers are saying, I think we could really call this era the Sonic Renaissance. That's all I got for you guys this time, and remember, if life gives you lemons,
Don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad. I don't want your damn lemons. What the hell am I supposed to do with these?